Hello everybody. This video is about cleaning the cistern so that we don't have water leakages into the pot even after flushing. And also this would talk about how to do the adjustment so that we will have a required amount of water released into the pot, especially with the short push button. That's a smaller button on the top of the cistern. Actually, after pushing the smaller button, it should release only 1 liter of water, but I know in actual condition it releases much more. So this leads to wastage of water, and to address this problem I have made this video. You can clean the cistern and adjust it within half an hour. In this slide I have already mentioned the list of items which would be needed. First we should close the mains to the cistern, and after that we start doing this operation. First we remove the buttons, pull them. It might be a bit hard sometimes to pull because of the scaling on the extension, and then we have this screw which you see. It's a plastic screw, so be careful you don't damage the screw. Pull the screw out. Keep all the parts safely. Remove the top cover. And you see that there's a foot valve and there's a pin there. First you need to remove this or release the foot valve so that you have a space so that you can reach out to the bottom of this particular system, that is the white and blue system which you see. So simply pulling out the pin, you are able to remove the floater. Let floater lie inside and remove the pin and keep it safely. Now as you can see, there's a lot of scaling which is on top of the system as well as on the walls of the cistern. Reach out to the bottom and twist this particular system, rotate it in one other direction, but keep holding to a piece which is right at the bottom, otherwise it might damage the nut which is at the bottom. So you see these notches, these would sit in the, so if you twist it, I'll take the camera a bit close and you can see that these are the notches. So you take care, you hold this particular part and then rotate the top part, so you'll be able to release this particular system. This is the system which we have to clean. So as you see, there's a lot of scaling on this particular assembly of components, which is making the system inefficient, and also while flushing it gets stuck and water keeps releasing into the pot. So the primary aim is to clean this particular thing, remove the scalings. The best way to do is, first we have to dismantle each and every component. So we have removed one of the component from the top, as you saw, by pressing a button on the side, and now I'm trying to remove this particular blue component. It has to be pushed out. There's no other release button or so you need to just carefully detach from the white body, and you can keep this aside. There's not much scaling on this. Now the next thing is, there is this another component which again you have to just try to move it on the outer side, and you would be able to take it off from this particular. It can be a bit tricky, so it might take you some time to release it from the other component. Now there's another component. It's a kind of you have to rotate it and then pull it outside, and you'll be able to remove it. It's kind of lock as well as so this is the way. Try to rotate and see from which side you will be able to pull it out more easily. So we are able to dismantle a couple of components now. Now second thing is, you see this, you have to press this particular thing and again detach. And it will come out only if you align these particular, you see those, see those holes there on the end. So it has to align. We will be able to see, you're not able to see clearly the projection which is on the outer component, but when you have it in hand, you will be able to make out by rotating how it will get disengaged, and you will be able to pull it out easily. So you have this. These consist of two components which are again separable. This is a single component. This let it be because there's no point in taking it out. It might damage the part. So this is the acid which is available in most of the stores, and I have listed also, and you will be able to buy it for 50 rupees, and you need to mix it in the proportion 1:5. Now first thing which we are going to do is, there's some water left in the cistern. We will pour some of the acid there, and you can see the fumes coming out from the cistern. Be careful to move your eyes and head of the cistern after you pour it there. Similarly, you pour it in half a bucket full of water. Pour around 1/8 of the bottle, and then put all these components inside. Leave them almost for 5 minutes. It's not going to damage the plastic. As you can see, this particular acid itself is contained in a plastic bottle, so it is absolutely no harm. You can put the rubber, there's a rubber mounted on the this particular assembly, so there's absolutely no issue to that also. So just make sure that you dip all the parts properly inside, so that the whole surface of the plastic parts should get. Now take a brush, and so this already been 5 minutes since we have poured this acid, and I'm trying to clean this. After rubbing it with a brush, you try to clean it off with a spray, faucet, or probably a bucket of water. Make sure that you clean it properly, because eventually you'll be putting your hands in. So please make sure that you don't dip your hand into this acid, especially the concentrated one. Once you have shifted all these parts to another bucket, and you pour a lot of water on it, then it is okay to touch, but not in this situation where you have so I put a lot of water there, and then now I can put my hand inside and pull component one by one, and I'm using this normal toothbrush and clean all the components, and you can see how it is easy to remove all the scaling on the component. Now I'm going to tell you about dismantling this another sub-assembly which we did not do at the first instance. Of course you can do at that time also, but there's no harm, we can do it now. So you can see that all the parts have been cleaned well. Now there's a washer which needs cleaning, because this washer is responsible for blocking and releasing the water into the pot. This black color washer, so we make sure that we rub emery paper, the sandpaper, on top of it. which would remove all the scaling as well as some kind of slippery solution from the end. It makes it as good as new. So don't just try to rub enough, which is good to make surface bit rough. So now it's time to assemble everything back. This is the first step. You need to just push it so that it's a snap fit, so it's so you can press and fit in and it sits just right there. It is rotatable. You will know at the end that why this particular freedom is provided of rotating, because you need to align those holes on top where you put the buttons. Eventually, after putting this whole assembly into the cistern. This component is a very important component which I am putting now, and it is responsible for maintaining the release of water when you do a short push. So you see the small bucket. The position of that particular component onto this would decide. Now you can see that bucket. So that small bucket in the center, which is mounted on another rod, and the position of that would decide how much water would be released into the cistern when you do a short push. So the lower the bucket, lesser the water will be released. Higher the bucket, more the water will be released into the cistern when you do a short push. So before you do this assembly, you need to make sure that you have adjusted on this sub-assembly. So it's time to assemble few more components which are left out. So this, again, you need to mount this and make sure that it is right opposite to the another similar component, which is so it has to be right opposite to that other component. Great. This is how it is. Now this another component. This mounting this can be a bit tricky. So you need to give it a little bit of push, latch it on one side and try to push it so it latches properly on the other side. Make sure the flat portions which are there in the center are on the top. So you can check by pressing whether it's working fine, so you will be able to, so if it's offering some friction while you press the button, then there's something wrong, otherwise it will smoothly move up and down. The better you clean with a brush, the more effective the system would be. The system has gone wrong only because of scaling, which has offered more friction than what is needed, and the assembly movement is hindered. So now we are fitting the last component, and just make sure that you are on the, when you slide it down, you are on the 4th notch. Yes. This is a snap fit. Now we have this, I have already mounted it inside, so similar way, the way you dismantle, just push it in and rotate it, holding the component which is fixed into the cistern, the plastic component. Now you can switch on the water. I have not mounted the floater yet, so make sure that you switch off it as soon as you see that level has reached, because it will not stop because I had removed the floater. Or you can mount the floater and then switch on the main water supply. So you can press the button and do the testing. That will tell you that okay, what is getting released properly. Now rest is, I think you'll be able to handle. Just mount the top cover and then the buttons as well as the center component along with the screw. Thank you. Hope this video would have helped you. In case there are any questions, you can always reach back to me at 96326 79706. Thanks.